Hello and welcome to Metolius Minutes, tips and tricks for photography, gear, and post-processing. Today we'll talk a little bit about what round tripping is between Lightroom and Photoshop. This is part of a workflow that I use, and I think it's used by a lot of folks out there, and it really saves you a lot of time and energy in trying to find images and process them in different ways because typically the workflow begins in Lightroom, moves for more complex edits and processing techniques into Photoshop, and then you want to be able to go back into Lightroom and have access to your catalog because the single most important feature of Lightroom is the cataloging feature. So you'd like to be able to keep those master images visible within Lightroom catalogs. So you can see my Lightroom catalog here for a particular day that I was on the coast shooting. And we'll go ahead and just to show an example of what round tripping is very quickly. So if I was to come in and edit this image, go to the develop module, make some just quick, random adjustments. We're not going to do anything too wild here. Bring up the shadows, maybe mess with the contrast a little bit, add a little clarity, and go ahead and do some profile correction on the image and maybe dehaze it a little bit. So you can see, obviously, there's a lot of debris on the lens and everything here that I've got to clean up, and I would typically do that in Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click and do an edit in Photoshop, and this will open up over in Photoshop automatically. And this is what's great about the Adobe products is that they do work between the two products, very seamlessly. So you can see if I was to come in here and do a little bit of cleaning on this, say I was going to go ahead and clean up the spots, which we'll do really quickly, and probably won't go through all these, but just as an example of the round tripping. So say we got most of them here. And then we just did maybe a levels adjustment to bring the levels to a little bit more contrasty nature. Okay, and we're done. Okay, so at that point, say we've completed what we wanted to do with this in Photoshop, we will go ahead and just save this image. And then when we're done, we can go ahead and close out of it and move back into Lightroom. And the great part about this is now this is that image that I was just working on. You can see that it was saved as a -edit file, and it has all the adjustments that I had made previously. In fact, I think right here is another example of that. But it has all the adjustments that I had made previously, so you can actually see that you've got the now Photoshop and Lightroom edited image, and it's traveled back and forth, and so you can actually see all of the edits you've done in both programs. And then if you're looking in your catalog, you'll be able to actually find these images ready to go, part of the catalog, and you don't have to go hunting them down later, which can get a little bit complicated once you've got a lot of images that you start processing. I hope you find this useful in your workflow. Thank you, and tune in for more Metolius Minutes in the near future. Thank you.